Hello everyone, this is Black Cat here, and we're going to be going over Tinto flags number 1 over Iberia. So this is for EU5. I have not covered anything for EU5, but since we are a little over under a month away, and I'm really excited for this game. I've been following it ever since they've announced it, and way before they've even announced it whenever they were doing all the developer talks and all that stuff. I just am really looking forward to this game, and I'm going to be covering it here on the channel, and I'm going to go ahead and start covering it now so that we're ready for whenever launch happens. So let's get right into it. So Iberia. Iberia has 5 main kingdoms starting year. So in the first one they have Iberia. So this is the one that we are used to from EU5, EU4, sorry. And this is kind of interesting how they have it where this is if Leon ends up like leaving, it looks like. If you're amazed if you amazingly end up with an you lose the right to have their flat. Oh, so apparently they're just saying is if you're a bad Castile player, uh, you just lose the right to have Leon as your flag. And this is if you can't form Spain, it looks like, but you still form an absolute monarchy. This is if you become a merchant republic. You can become a merchant republic? Wow, that's actually cool. And actually, I like this. This is the revolutionary flag. This is actually a lot better than the revolutionary flags that Castile had in, or I guess Spain had in EU5, EU4. Sorry, I will make sure to put an image up on screen if I can remember. And then let's go over Aragon. Aragon. This is gonna be the starting flag of Aragon. If they just become a republic, I guess they just get a cross symbol with a little point at the end of it. This is if whenever they become a in the age of absolutism, if they have colonies, and this is what their coat of arms will look like. This is if absolute monarchy becomes a greater flag. Now, I looked at this. This country, Navarre, is pretty cool. This is the same flag we're used to, but this right here. If Navarre gains a male ruler of a Capetian dynasty, they will adopt this, I'm guessing just this flag. They basically just adopt half France, half Navarre. Now that's really cool. And then this kind of does the same if an Aragonese one comes in, and then a Basque Republic. That would be a fun challenge to do. Survive Navarre and become a Basque Republic. Now on to Portugal. Portugal, this is the starting flag. This is kind of the one we've been used to. And the start of the Renaissance, they basically just get little French crescents on there. They lose some castles at this Age of Discovery. And then the shields actually perform upright, as they literally say here. And then as we move to the Age of Absolutism, we gain this flag, which already looks like the one to the modern one. And this is if we become an absolute monarch. And then an absolute monarch with colonies in the Americas and Africa will adopt armillary sphere. And then, an early Republican Portugal will take this flag based on an early merchant flag. I really like this flag. This is actually like a really cool flag design. Early Republic Portugal? That would be an interesting game to play. A republic with American and African colonies will adopt this early colonial flag. Don't know how I feel about the circles. Don't know how I feel about the circles. And then from the 8th Absolution onwards, the Portuguese Republic, yeah, this is just the modern day Portuguese flag. Now this right here would be cool. In an unlikely event of Portugal becoming a theocracy, it adopts a cross in the order of Christ. This is cool. And then this flag, if they get overseas colonies, this, Theocracy Portugal, I'm going to play it. Don't know if anybody else will, but I'm going to play it one day. That's going to be a challenge, a Theocracy Portuguese run. And then Catalonia, it's a principality you can release at the start of the game. Technically, this is the flag. About right. Then these are kind of other ones. Leon, this is if managed like rule over Castile. It's basically the Castilian flag, but it's just the dominant one is now over here instead of under here. And then this is revolutionary Leon. Alright, Spain. This is the fun. A Castilian-led way Spain where Aragon and Portugal remain independent looks like this. Where Aragon and Portugal? So is it saying that they can form Aragon and Portugal without... They can form Spain without Aragon and Portugal? That's interesting. No Iberian wedding? If they take Granada, they will gain the little thingy at the bottom of the little Granadan flower. Oh, I see it. So they need Navarre to form Spain. Okay. Castile is way without Portugal. So they do it without Portugal. Ah. So this is the one. Okay, now this makes sense. And then this is the one with Granada. And then Castile leads the way with ownership of Aragon and Sicily. This is the historical one used by the so-called Catholic monarchs between 1475. This also having to be based on the... So this is the EU4 flag. That's why it looks familiar. Then this is the one the Catholic monarchs use right after the Reconquista. Castile led the way with... so this is if they do it with Aragon and Navarre. Then with Granada, Castile led with them all in it. Castile... So you can lead it with just Portugal? Just Portugal and Granada? Navarre... Oh my gosh. This is actually interesting. So the flag will be different depending on how you form Spain. Wow. But yeah, it says right here. The default flag, of course, is based on the historical Catholic king's banner, but how it might look if Aragon or Catalonia comes to be the immediate power on the peninsula. Generally speaking, European hereditary, the top left corner is received by the most senior arms. Religious tradition EU5 by using the top left corner to integrate the country to form Spain. So whoever's in the top left corner is always going to be the one who forms Spain. Wow, interesting. Okay, so here we are. This is what the flag's going to look like if Aragon forms them all. This is funny. Navarre and Spain. That's an interesting one. That would be a fun run. Navarre, Castile, Portugal. That flag would just Portugal, Spain. That is funny. Oh well, spelling issue there. Paradox. So these are like if the miners form Spain. If Andorra. Huh. That would be an interesting challenge. Andorra forming Spain. Of the Malaccan Islands. Oh my gosh, I'm getting some interesting challenges to form here. Galicia. And then these are colonial empires. And then these are the absolute monarchies. These are what the flags turn into. Then Spanish Republic. Upon becoming a republic, Spain will adopt this flag. And this is the tricolor if they form as a revolutionary republic. Okay, I can get behind that. Secondary republic is only formed if Lebanese... So that is if Leon is the primary culture. We can get the flag that was originally in Hearts of Iron 4 for the start of the game for Spain before the Spanish Civil War. Interesting. That would have to be something I'd have to do. Then, of course, as I said, EU5 comes out less than a month away on November 4th. And then this is all that we have for this week for flags. And then next week, we'll be talking about Great Britain. That one's going to be interesting. So, yeah, come back next week and we'll look over Great Britain. And I will be covering over the diplomacy that will be coming out over on Thursday, which will be the last of the Dev Diaries. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to EU5. Hope you all are as well. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.